Just had to squeeze this little bit in. Chelsea and Manchester City looking like they have pulled out of the Super League. I've just had to quickly edit this in, so we'll just get back to the original video. But this is a great sign that the momentum on social media and from fans from around the world, they are listening and making sure, make that be said, let's not forget that these clubs have made these decisions, continue to bang the drum and get our football back. Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in on today's daily Liverpool news show and football related show in the current climate in which we do find ourselves in. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below and drop a like on the video as well. It does really help the algorithm, pushes it out, and if there was even if there was one person to really watch this video and just listen to the interviews that I ask people to submit, really fans of these football clubs, fans of football, that the hands and greedy men which are destroying every aspect of our beautiful game. It's every fan around the world. We love these football clubs, and what happened over the last 48 hours was it hit an end of the road really, and football fans had enough on a global level. There's every aspect of this video that you'll be watching tonight. There's journalists, there's fans, there's a whole variety of people giving their thoughts and opinions, and I'm interested in every single one of you in the comment section below. Agree to disagree, respect everyone's view. Respect goes a long way in life, and we can all agree in one thing, and that's the love. Forget rivalry, forget everything that is football. This is our beautiful game that millions of football fans around the globe love, and it's the rich elitist within society that are trying to take, they say they own the football club, but they don't own the hearts of every single one of us around the world. Whether you're in Liverpool, London, Manchester, we can all agree on one thing: we want to get control of our beautiful game. As you can see, this was the Echo today, the front page spread of Liverpool Echo. Pause it if you want to view that. There's a little picture of the shirts that were worn by Leeds United last night, if you missed them. A tweet from Marcus Rashford, as you can see there, Marcus Rashford MBE, just basically showing the famous Matt Busby, football is nothing without fans, and it's made up. And we can see Jordan Henderson is going to be speaking. He has collected all the captains in the Premier League together, and they are holding a meeting as we speak. So this could all change within a matter of minutes. You never know, but if anything new comes out, I'll let you all know. But as you can see, I've got a whole host of tweets from for a lot of people. Really, one issue is very uncomfortable with this: the threats towards players not being allowed to play for their national team. The players have nothing to do with this and should not be punished in this way. These owners don't care about international football in any way. Talk of obviously Fabrizio Romano discussing the meeting that was held today with all 14 clubs meeting, and vigorously rejected the plans for the competition. Premier League is considering all actions available to prevent it from progressing. Joe Ranieri, the legendary manager, helped Leicester win their first Premier League title. He quoted as saying, "It is very sad for me. The Super League is so bad. I hope UEFA will stop them. Leicester story was something special, and we'd lose these stories. It's not just about football. I remember the feeling between the Indian and English people celebrating LCFC together." See here are images outside Anfield. RIP. In my life, I love you more, with an RIP over there, and the greedy RIP, as you can see from that image. Also, another tweet as well: UEFA has always cared about fans, but somehow still kept 50% of the tickets for the Champions League finals and gave them to CEOs, politicians and people in the board of federations. So yeah, everyone, that was just a little collection of tweets, important tweets. And the back end of this show, we'll have a couple of interviews from people I really respect in the media industry, in the football industry as well. I really think it's Ian Wright. I've got an interview at the back end. I've just seen a little bit of an interview in which he'd done on his socials. I've got that at the back end. Loz from Loz and True Geordie anyway. little snippet out of their latest tweet. I'll leave all the links to everyone's content in the description, so apologies. I will be getting through so everyone gets directed to your channels as well. But appreciate everyone for the support in this episode. There will be a lot more content coming out very soon. But first, let's get straight into the people that matter, and that is you at home, every single one of your friends and family around the world, the fans. So here's just a small section of the fans and my good mates that I've managed to meet in my journey of YouTube. But thank you everyone that has contributed, and we get straight into all the videos now.
James Rowe, football writer and football interviewer, giving my thoughts on the European Super League. A terrible, terrible idea. What about history? What about the people's game? What about stories within football? Football's not a closed shop. Never has been. Hopefully never will be. Football, as in life, is full of ups and downs. 1 minute you're up, next minute you're down. Professional clubs at all levels of the English pyramid and of the world game, they believe in their club, they have hope in their club, that even through bad times they can come back and those dreams will never be taken away. At the top level, this isn't a businessman's toy, this is people's life in many cases. Generation from generation is passed down their club to the next generation to support, to love and to cherish. A terrible idea, and let's hope that common sense will prevail. No to a European Super League.
Well, it's been a couple of days now since the European Super League was first announced, and I still feel exactly the same as I did on Sunday evening. I'm angry, I'm disappointed, I'm ashamed that these owners, they only care about the money, they don't care about the fans, as proven on a number of occasions over the years, and they don't care about the history of the clubs, particularly likes of Liverpool and Manchester United, where they've got a rich history not only in this country but around Europe as well. But they're just looking to gain extra money for themselves, and it's an absolute disgrace. In terms of what can be done, well, I think we all welcomed, statements in Parliament yesterday from the government, about government intervention, doing what they can to help the Premier League and the FA and so on. And I think there's got to be some sort of fan ownership model similar to what they have in the Bundesliga with the 50+1 rule. It's time we take our game back. This has been going on far too long. In terms of owners looking after themselves and not looking after the interests of the fans. It's time to take our game back, and we've got to take it back now.
Hey guys, Chris Ellis here from Villa Together and with Rivalry Aside TV. Obviously, thoughts on the Super League aren't currently positive. I think the biggest thing for me is what impact it has on clubs like my own, Aston Villa, West Ham, Leicester City, Everton, etc. What impact it has on them, I think that's my main issue. They go, the big six, the big 12 as it is at the moment, are clearly going chasing more money. My issue is what impact there is on the rest of the Premier League. 1992, Premier League incepted, and the idea was to take advantage of a lucrative TV deal. But also with that is that the structure of the Football League remained similar. There's an addition of the league on top. Premier League filters its way through. The ring fencing of the Super League means that the guys in the Premier League, if the big guys leave and it leaves us there, then it's almost like, what is the point in us guys? We're there chasing Europe, Europa League, Champions League, etc. We chase that. That's our aim. It completely dilutes and diminishes the value of those competitions, and as well what our owners are chasing. Owners coming from America, China, Egypt, etc. They come in, they take over a club, and they want their clubs to push on and go for Europe because that's where it's lucrative. But with those guys out of it, the money we make is less. And one thing that I did see was that guys, so like ourselves, obviously Leicester, West Ham, possibly Everton, who are kind of the ones who are pushing on at the moment, if they went on, qualified for the Champions League and won it, then if the big guys were still able to play in the Champions League, then the winners, if it's say it's Leicester for example, would make less money for winning the competition than Manchester United would make just for participating at the group stage. And that's a clear, massive difference, and it leaves a big gap between us guys. So the Premier League would lose its value. Would owners lose interest, and would it mean the end for us guys trying to compete? Not looking good at the moment. Whether it goes ahead, I'm not sure, but those are my thoughts, and I don't think it's good for the guys who are running the Big Six, Big Seven close at the moment.
Hey guys, Diarmid here from the Near Post podcast. Big shout out to Jack for doing this. I think it's a great idea. What's the fiasco that's gone on? Just quickly, what I'd like to say, and obviously I'm a big Liverpool fan, and watching the game last night, I was so emotionless. I think that kind of sums it up. I never thought I would be watching a Liverpool game where, you know what I mean, it's a top, what was that game for last night? Because we could have lost 5-0. We're still going to qualify for this Super League. So yeah, I think that kind of just sums it up. You're watching this is the first time in my life I've ever questioned do I even support Liverpool anymore if this sort of thing goes ahead. Yeah, I just think it stinks. It's not the club, it's the owners, where we need to direct all the anger and frustration towards the owners of these clubs. I think just before, I know I'm just going over a minute there, but it's the owners, guys. It's not really the players or the managers of any of these clubs. It doesn't matter who you support. I know this is a Liverpool channel, but from a football point of view, I just like watching football, and this just stinks. So yeah, thanks again for doing this idea, Jack. Great idea, and yeah.
Hi Jack. The Super League, I'm totally against it. I think everyone is probably totally against it. My biggest issue is how on earth are they going to be able to get referees for this competition, and what will happen with the smaller clubs as well. But I have to say, the Liverpool signing up for this it just doesn't work with me at all. It doesn't have the values of the club either. Bill Shankly will be turning in his grave. Bob Paisley will be turning in his grave. Gerard Houllier will definitely be turning in his grave as well. But what needs to change? I think there needs to be a salary cap. 3.5 billion for this Super League is just ridiculous money, and we need to get these owners out of football. We absolutely have to get these owners out of football. But yeah, I'm absolutely angry and very upset.
Okay guys, just my little thoughts on the European Super League, or the Super League as they call it, the Big Six, the so-called elitists Big Six. The Premier League are moaning about it, UEFA are moaning about it, FIFA are moaning about it, Sky are moaning about it, but they're all money boys as well. So let's be real here. But this is elitism at its absolute worst. Liverpool, who we're worried about, United, Chelsea, Arsenal, City and Spurs. How are Spurs and Arsenal even in the conversation? But they are. You look at their owners, it's all about money, it's all about the business, it's all about that. When your man Perez is involved, of course, with Real Madrid, it's going to be one thing, and that is line your pockets. You don't care about the fans. We're called legacy fans now, by the way. Legacy fans. You follow Liverpool or any of these clubs long term, you're a legacy fan. We can do without you. It's like a phone company. When you go in to change your mobile phone and you're an existing customer for the past 10 years, they don't care about you. They know you're going to renew it. They don't even give you a better contract. Just say, we know you'll renew it, but we want new customers. We want new customers. We want new customers in Asia. We want new customers in Africa, America, South America. That's where the money is. We want new, fresh customers, and that's what this is all about. It's all about the Wonga, the Benjamin Franklins. I'm not happy. It's got to change, but I fear it might be too late.
Hi guys, Anton from West Ham United, and yeah, just giving you my opinion on this venture, the Super League venture, which is just, for me, it's just an absolutely crazy decision. I feel so sorry for, all football fans, but I really feel sorry for the fans like yourself, Liverpool fans, Man United fans, Man City fans, Tottenham fans, Arsenal fans, because you haven't been consulted in this at all whatsoever. And it's the greedy owners who don't know anything about the history, anything about the local community, anything to do with what we are being brought up with and used to in this country, about where the clubs came from, how they were built, how they gained their titles and how they were created, etc. So it's just, it absolutely has baffled me. And today's comments from Perez saying that 16 to 24-year-olds get bored with football, coming from him, really, who does he actually think he is? It's a it's a smack in the face to every single football fan. He says people are getting bored with the football. Well, I'll tell you something right now. You're going to get bored playing the same teams week in and week out in Europe when you have no challenge and no threat of relegation and no threat of getting knocked out. It defeats the purpose. It completely is the opposite to what they're trying to achieve. It's greedy, it's money grabbing, it's boring, and that's what it is. And I do feel sorry for you guys. And there needs to be reprimands. There absolutely needs to be reprimands, whether or even if clubs go through with it or not. Now that they've signed that letter of intent, that's it. And it's not just me saying it from West Ham, because we're sitting in the 4th position, trying our best, clutching for a European spot, which we don't massively get year in and year out. And if we qualify for the Champions League and potentially then it's all going to change, what for? What's the point in it? You know, you go to this Super League and you can't play another competition. What's the point? What for? 300 million a year? Wow, whoopee-doo, who cares? I mean, it's it's nice to be up there and be the top club, but when it comes to the detriment of football and other clubs and your own fans, it's an absolute disgrace, embarrassment, and I really hope they come to their senses sooner rather than later. I've never seen a revolt like this. I've never seen fans come together to go against 6 or 12 European greedy clubs, but in England in particular, wow. And I know it's not the fans, I know it's not the players, and I know it's not the coaches. The owners have a lot to answer for, and this is taking it too far.
Okay, here's my take on the European Super League. I'm not for it, but I'm also not against it. I think it's been on the cards for a long time. The clubs have had enough of how UEFA and FIFA are running football and how things are generated across the globe when they are the ones bringing in the money. It makes business sense to them, although I think this non-relegation thing, if they change that, people might start to go for it. But that's all I really need to say on it at the moment. I'm neither for nor against, but I understand and I see that this is definitely going to happen.
Well, the last 72 hours have been absolutely crazy in the world of football, and of course that is thanks to the announcement of the European Super League. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm absolutely outraged by it, and especially the Liverpool part of it, where, of course, Liverpool are a part of the 12 that are supposedly be joining this new European Super League, and quite frankly, it's disgusting. FSG have done it. It's purely down to them on terms of Liverpool. It's just really, really frustrating. And look, FSG, they've had their problems with us over the last couple of years, of course, with the tickets prices and, you know, trademarking, you know, Liverpool itself, and other bits and pieces, of course, furloughing the staff with the first lockdown. And of course, thankfully, that was overturned. But, you know, it's just the little pieces like that I think, even though I think we've praised FSG quite a lot over the last couple of years, they've had big mistakes. And this is a huge mistake by FSG. And for me, it's probably their worst. And I've never, ever been FSG out. But for this, I am FSG out, because they haven't taken the fans into consideration at all. They haven't taken the players into consideration, the staff. No, the main man at Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, and I felt sorry for Jurgen last night when he had to answer every single question on Sky Sports, and it was just really, really, I was ashamed to be a Liverpool fan, and that's how bad this has become. And look, thankfully, you know, you got the likes of Jordan Henderson, you know, making a meeting with all of the Premier League clubs captains and getting that sorted out, which, you know, fantastic work from Hendo. You know, Jurgen speaking about it last night and practically disagreeing with the decision, and that's what's needed to be done. You know, we all need to come together. It's no rivalry in this. Every single club, fans, supporters, whatever you are, linked to all the 6 clubs that have agreed towards this. We all have to come together, and we all have to, you know, unite against this European Super League, because I don't think any of us want it whatsoever. And in terms of, you know, being banned from the Champions League, that is what obviously we don't want to happen. Of course, the the Champions League has been, you know, such a great memory for us over the last couple of years, and the Premier League as well. Look, we spent 30 years chasing down a title, and if this goes ahead, we could be banned from the Premier League, which would be a disaster, in my personal opinion. And look, it's no to the European Super League, and that practically has to be the main, subject, in my personal opinion, anyway.
Evening, guys. Yeah, I'm here to do a video for Jack because he's asked me to get my opinion on the Euro Super League. Personally, my opinion is I think it's wrong. It's stupid. It's just agreed for all these top six, or not even just the top six, for all these top teams around Europe. I think it's a joke to play their team week in and week out just for a stupid little competition to generate more money. Personally, I think the top six are taking away the fundamentals of other teams like West Ham and Leicester, who are doing really well in the league and potentially could do well in the Champions League. Who would never know? And that's taking that out of consideration, that they could play teams like Madrid, Barcelona, and I think it's just wrong. It's just disgraceful, and it also takes the foundations of the whole structure of the way the English league is done, you know, from Championship getting into the Premier League and then the, you know, teams getting relegated. If the structure was different, and people would probably support it more, you know, if there's a couple of teams getting relegated and other teams could get promoted into it, I think it probably might work. But the way it's looking, just the best teams in the world playing against each other week in, week out, I think it's just shocking and disgraceful. And I just hope that all the teams in the Premier League and even all the English teams will boycott it and just get it over and done with and say it would never happen. And if it does happen, then them teams should, I totally agree, should be stripped for every title they've ever earned or won in their history. I feel sorry for the fans, the managers, the players, because it takes away players who want to play for the national team. If the way UEFA and FIFA are talking, that it might take away, you know, their responsibilities of being a national player to play these major tournaments. Every player dreams to play for their country and win domestic fucking trophies, and it's just so bad. I'm sorry for the language, but it's just, you know, when you're a football fan who's very passionate, it's just disgraceful. And I think, you know, that them 6 teams, or should we say 4 of them at the moment, we've heard there's 2 that are quite scared now and want to back out of it. But I think it's shocking and disgraceful. And
hi, I'm Russ. I'm from Arsenal Central, and thanks, Jack, for having me on your channel to talk about this European Super League. As an Arsenal fan, I'm very disappointed that Arsenal signed up for this. I really am. I think it's a shameless power grab by the billionaire American owners in the Premier League. Obviously, not just those guys, but obviously there's some owners across Europe. But obviously this pandemic has caused this a financial shortfall, and this seems to be a quick fix for me to get their finances boosted. I think that this Super League idea would have come eventually, maybe 3, 4, 5 years down the line, but obviously what's happening in the world has accelerated that. I'm not behind it at all, and I hope if one thing comes out of this, not just the fans of the teams involved, but fans all around Europe in general, just push back against this, and we can get our football clubs back, we can get our teams back, and we can just get football back as a general. We've wasted far too long spending too much money on this. It's about time we get something back, I think. But anyway, Jack, thanks for having me on your channel, mate, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Thank you very much, every single one of you, for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're watching up till now, you absolute legends. And if you don't mind dropping a like on the video, really does help the algorithm and pushes us out for the wider footballing world. We as one, as football fans around the globe, need to unite, and we have over the last 48 hours. This is our beautiful game. It's not the people at the top. We will stand defiant against the corruption within football. This is only the start. This is only the start. There's so much evil within football that that is good that we're all discussing, every single one of us around the globe. These discussions have been brought to the forefront of the public domain now, so it's important that we don't rest on our laurels. Every single one of us on every platform respect one another and unite against this corruption within football.